it's Siree in Houston, Texas, back with another YouTube video. And this channel is no longer called Doing It in Lingerie. It's I Sell Lingerie in Houses, because I do both. So today I have with me Ralph and Kayla. We're back with another YouTube video, just talking about, as you can see from the title, we're going to be making some brunch cocktails. And we're going to be talking about the life of an adjuster, because Kayla's an adjuster and she's been getting a lot of frequently asked questions about what she does and how she gets started. So let's start. Y'all ready to drink?
Yeah.
What do you start us off with today?
We're making just basic orange juice mimosas.
I like a little razzle dazzle. So we have a little fruit. We have some raspberries and blueberries, blackberries, and some strawberries. And Kayla's gonna pour us up. How do you like your ratio, champagne to orange juice ratio?
More champagne than orange juice, of course.
Okay. So we don't have any measuring cups. We're just gonna eyeball it, because we're gonna make a carafe and kind of just spread it around.
So before you contaminate the champagne, how long have you been in the business?
I have been an adjuster probably about 2.5 years now. I started off in a staff position, which is with benefits, 9 to 5 basically. Mm-hmm. More stability, if you ask me.
Wait, first of all, what is an adjuster? Let's go back. Like, what is an adjuster? What are you adjusting?
So there's a couple sides of adjusting. You can do property and auto. So as an adjuster, we're the person that basically takes care of you in the event of an incident, as far as a car accident, natural disaster, a hurricane, tsunami,
so an insurance
anything.
claim, basically.
Yeah, anything that you got to call your carrier and say, hey, something happened, we'll be the ones that you talk to in the claim world. That's your adjuster.
So as you know, like Siree and I are in the real estate business. How often do you come in contact with realtors? Like, have you ever been in a situation where...
That's a lot of orange juice.
Yeah, it is a lot of orange.
I need some more champagne.
Have you ever been in a situation where it's like the house is like getting ready to close and, before the property transfers over, you're already dealing with an insurance claim?
Not in my 2 years of working. I've dealt with the selling of a house where if there's still a claim process and somebody's trying to sell their home, but they can't because they still have an open claim with their carrier. That's about the only thing. But I haven't had to come in contact with the realtor. It's really more so the mortgage companies that we would have to deal with.
So how did you get started as a insurance adjuster?
So I will say this: I started off producing insurance. I worked for a carrier, mm-hmm. and I learned a lot of people call the office asking questions about claims that the agents or your producer has no answer to. And so it prompted me to try to just figure out, what do they do over there? Like, why they always calling us and we don't know anything about it? So I took the time, I did the research. You have to take a 40-hour course. I took a 40-hour course in 2 days. Okay. Literally. So you have that option, but it's self-paced. There's there's so many websites that offer the course. I did mine here in Texas. It was right before I moved, so I had already started before I got here. And my class was just amazing. You learn so much in those 2 days.
So is it about like learning about the valuation of certain items?
It's not even that. It's really policy language, policy talk. What type of homeowners policies, what type of car coverage, because most people think when they get, have you ever been in a situation where people say, I have full coverage?
Oh yeah.
When it's really not full coverage.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not full coverage. So you just learn all the coverages, what applies. What applies to you, what you want to purchase, mm-hmm. what you offer, and what they offer, what would be beneficial for you. And so, again, I did my course, took my test, and I passed it. The only state that we have to test for is New York. That's the only other state. Texas replicates mostly everybody. Okay. You good. Once you take that one test.
Because I was going to say, I have other friends that live in other states, and they have like 20 licenses for different states. Like, so they take a different test for each one,
No.
or okay.
No. So once you take that one test, it reciprocates out to other states. There are 16 states that do not require you to have a license. So I ran in contact with adjusters. They don't even have not one license, but they've been working for these small companies in the states that offer that. Like, I work for a company, very, very small, and they offered to pay for licenses when you came in. So I was like one of the 2 people out of our class that had the license, and they just kind of like threw us to the wolves. I'm not even gonna lie. But there are jobs that are willing to help you and pay for your class, and the class isn't hard. It's just about dedication. It's about if you really want to do it. Because once you start reading, it becomes a learning curve for you, because you're like, dang, I really didn't know all of this matters.
Yeah, but insurance is like an important thing in culture. Like a lot of times our families don't teach us about insurance, like life insurance, health insurance,
Even for
property insurance.
Yeah,
and so I guess that would be something good to learn, because we just aren't exposed to it.
No,
Like, we have to learn it on our own, and we usually don't deal with insurance until something bad happens.
until something happens.
Right.
And most people don't even know what their insurance covers. How many times do you get a policy and you just put the paperwork in the glove
Give
compartment?
them the minimum payment.
Give me them, and
Give me
that's
the cheapest
the
payment.
thing.
And that's what I have.
That's one of the
Yeah.
things that I deal with is everybody's worried about their premium. Like, have that conversation with your agent. Tell them what you have, because if something happens, you want to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have those limits.
Yeah.
I work 50,000. You got the basic.
The basic
25, 20, 30, 30,
yeah.
or 30, 60.
Right.
And now you mad at me because you didn't tell your agent that you got a AMG and not a Honda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
But with the VIN number, can't they see, like, the
But
VIN
that
number doesn't give them,
it gives them it doesn't give
because
you
you
the
can still
value of
adjust
the
your
car.
own coverage.
You can still adjust
Okay,
your
that's
own.
right.
It's what you want.
And then
It's-
you just gotta abide by the state minimum.
because
Yeah.
even if you have a $50,000 car, let's not say you owe that much on it. You know,
Right.
so you can get it to where you want it, but have those conversations.
repairs
If
and
some-
damages to the car.
Like anything, rental car, people think because they have full coverage, it comes
pay the
with rental.
$8.
It doesn't.
Pay the
Pay
$8
the $8. Don't be mad at me because you got
Now your car's in the
$20
shop
a
for
day
2 weeks, and
and
you
don't
gotta
have
pay.
a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So just have those conversations. If this happens, am I covered?
Well, everyone that I know, like I said, I have other friends or family members that are insurance adjusters, and they're all stressed out. Like, they're working 7/12s. They're in the office
What does
with
that
a
mean?
team. They're working 7 days a week for 12 hours.
shifts.
And they have like claims
okay.
just coming. So is that the same across the board for each
No.
insurance company, or do you set your schedule?
So as an independent contractor, that's when you see most of those 7/12s, because you're contracted out to these third-party firms, which are TPAs. So you may
What does that mean?
third party, like there's firms that hire independent contractors to come and work for the carriers.
So like I have USAA and Progressive.
Correct.
So, and I actually and for my insurance policy here, I have I think Allstate.
Mhm.
So I actually had to do a claim for Super Bowl. I had the little cart, and somebody walked away with like a bunch of my camera equipment. It was like $12,000 worth of stuff. So the insurance adjuster could have either worked directly for Allstate, or they would have hired you.
Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
could be a independent contractor, depending on again what situation it is. Usually in a natural disaster or if a hurricane comes, they're gonna hire out
Mm-hmm.
because the staff adjusters have to handle those everyday claims, regular car wrecks and regular busted pipes or whatever. They stay there, so they'll hire out to have us come out and do what needs to be done. If it's an inspection of a vehicle, inspection of your home, whatever, because as you know, with a company, staff is a certain amount of people. If something big happens, that staff isn't going to be able to handle it. So they got to call in the big dogs. I'm going to just say that because the staff people can't handle what we can handle.
So y'all are the independents are the big dogs.
That's right. That's what we do.
Okay.
We're going to make the money.
Okay, so this is a drink that I started. Like if I go to different restaurants, a happy hour, I'll order a French 75. One of my good gal pals, she orders a French 75 quite often. I prefer a gin instead of the tequila. So we'll walk you through it. It's not really a brunch cocktail, but it can be. So I think you start off with the started off with the simple syrup. Again, I'm not a big measurer, so I'll just eyeball like 2 tablespoons, and then you take a lemon. So basically, the point is to have this. You want it to taste like lemonade. So you put the simple syrup, and then you get the juice of a lemon, and you just squeeze it in there. And it's supposed to taste like Chick-fil-A lemonade, you know? It's supposed to taste like that Chick-fil-A lemonade. So I'll do this. Okay, it's there. It's sweet, but it still has that lemon. So basically a French 75 is the simple syrup, the lemon juice, and then you get your gin. It's supposed to be about a shot of gin, or some people use the tequila. Okay, so you want to get a shot of gin. That's one of my shots.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
Go.
And then typically you'll have this in a champagne glass, but so you'll top it off with the champagne, and usually you fill it to the brim of a champagne glass, but let's see.
I want you to be my bartender.
So,
Is it preferred over ice or no?
no, because it's usually served in a champagne flute.
Okay, yeah.
So taste this and see what it tastes like.
Okay, so let me say this. I didn't think the gin was gonna do it for me,
Okay.
but I can do this.
Okay, it's
I can do
good.
this.
That's my best
Is
friend.
it
That's my best
Let
friend.
me
That's
tell
his
you,
favorite
these
drink.
one of these,
Is it?
even with your shot.
Well, you got 2 more to make.
So let's talk about the money. Like, how lucrative is it to be an insurance agent, adjuster, and then is that the same across the board, or does it vary per company?
Can I layer the question?
Mm-hmm.
So right now everybody's trying to figure out like what we're gonna do in this like what they call like the gig economy, where it's like people don't want to work regular jobs. You know, we have people that are selling real estate. We're doing signing agents as with notary stuff. Why would I want to get into that business? Like, how does the money look? Like, is it realistic? Is it unstable? You know, people work in the oil fields, they're making $10,000-$15,000 a month. Transitioning into something that's always going to be there, which is insurance. How is this business lucrative or realistic for someone?
So we're gonna be realistic. You have independent staff.
Mm-hmm.
Staff is more stability. This is somebody who wants a steady paycheck every 2 weeks. They want to know, okay, I'm getting paid every other Friday. I got benefits. It comes with benefits. It comes with, it's just like a basic 9 to 5. Now, when you jump off into the independent world, that's when the money really gets real. But it also, you have to show you're really willing to make the money.
Mm.
Like, I've seen people take deployments and they cut in the first week.
How does that work? Like, so
Production. So let's talk about it. Like, at the end of the day, it's still a business. You're still coming in to take care of somebody. And from a business standpoint, are you gonna want the person that's only coming in to make the money, that's just showing up every day to look cute in the office, or just to post the Instagram reel to say, oh, I'm an adjuster? Or you want the person that comes in the morning, 30 minutes before the shift, they already getting their reports together. They want to do this. This is something that they want. They're passionate about it. Because at the end of the day, you're taking care of somebody. Somebody just lost their car. Somebody just lost their home. Like, you have to do a job and getting somebody back to where they was the day before this incident happened.
So I have a good girlfriend who's in the industry.
It's hurtful.
She's actually with USAA, and they're their own inside adjusters. And so every time we're on the phone, we'll just be on a FaceTime, and she'll have to call one of her insurers and say, ma'am, I'm just sorry to let you know that you don't meet the deductible requirement. Your estimate is for $18,000, and your deductible is $19,000.
Listen.
Yo, I have the lowest.
Like, why is your
vehicles,
deductible so high?
My vehicles, I have the lowest deductible.
They want the lowest premium.
Payment, yeah.
Like,
you gotta
and
look
then
at
you're
the
gonna be
math.
mad at me because
right.
you haven't spent $18,000. And that's another thing. Let's talk about deductible. People don't know what deductible means.
People don't know what deductible means. She be on the
deductible. You have
Yeah.
to spend that amount before insurance even pays
you.
up.
Right.
And you mad at me because you done let little Timmy down the street tell you it's gonna cost this. No, we got
$5.
I
can insure your whole $1 million house for $5 a month.
Girl.
So third and final drink of the day. What is this?
I'm gonna call it an adjuster drink.
A who?
An adjuster's drink.
Okay.
This is probably something that can get you through a day because it's stressful. Like, people don't think that this job is stressful, but it does become because it consumes your life sometimes. So
12 hours, 7 days a week, I'd say so.
So we're gonna start with
So while you making your special drink,
champagne.
Well, she gotta tell us the ingredients.
Yeah, we're gonna do champagne.
mm-hmm.
And they talked about me in the first drink with the orange juice, so I'm gonna make sure I do enough champagne.
I like my champagne with ice.
So you just eyeball it, you don't measure
Yeah, I'm not
it.
measuring. I don't measure no drink.
So what is it supposed to taste like?
Possibly.
A mimosa.
Look, a mimosa. But just with a twist. We're gonna use some raspberry lemonade.
Okay. With ice. Okay.
Oh yeah, he likes it.
So would you drink this at the beginning of your shift or at the end?
Mid. Cause when you first, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you first coming in, you checking emails.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to see what you missed overnight, what everybody feeling, what the mood is. You know how your day gonna go. So in the morning, I will say eat your good breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Protein.
If you're a gym girly, go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up early in the
Wake up,
morning,
get
pray, read.
Let me say
gym.
prayer. The prayer for sure, because you never know what's gonna come across your desk.
And
I feel like this needs some Tito's or something.
Yeah, just a little spice.
We need a sponsorship.
they right down the street too in Austin.
They are.
Tito's is Austin.
Texas
Yeah.
vodka.
Okay.
Welcome to Texas. How long have you been in Texas?
So I've been here a little over a year, and I will say the insurance opportunity here has been phenomenal.
Mm.
Even though you pay more.
Even though I pay more,
And what?
Auto.
probably auto. Yeah, I
Oh.
do.
My
Y'all.
auto was double at my Alabama.
So I just let's touch on that real quick. So
double.
even
And just went up my $50 in my premium in June.
I
A
went
month?
Yeah.
So $600 a year.
Like
You said
$50
$50 a month.
up, $50 more in your premium.
Oh, so you divide
I
it by 12.
moved from one side of Texas to another side, and my premium
I think she's
went
asking
up.
for more.
You want more?
No, I'm good.
My premium went up a whole $50, and that plays a part too. Areas, the risk.
But there's a
is
lot
higher.
of, because Houston is so big, there's a lot of theft. They stealing like Cadillac converters.
Y'all. No cap. My friend literally is a independent adjuster in Dallas.
That's all he
and
does.
I don't want to put you out like that, but y'all, he took his scat pack to Dallas. They stole the whole car. Forget the car. Forget the converter. They stole the whole car. And
That's very much H-Time activities. Like,
yeah.
not just.
And I told him, I was like, "You took the scat on the road with you? You was supposed to use a company car.
Yeah, he wild. Yeah.
You was supposed to use a rental. Like, nah." Ooh, that hurt my soul for him. I feel so bad because I told him, I was like, "I could have told you that. They'll steal your tires off in Houston. You might come back to your car on some cinder blocks."
As always.
Yeah, they always take.
I might need to tap in.
USA
Y'all
is
take
a
care of
great
people,
company.
yeah.
I've been with them for like 22 years.
Oh.
Me too.
I can't find anybody to beat them. And even though they kind of go up, like I said, my premium just went up last month by like $50. however,
But the
comma.
cover-
At the end of the year, they give you like a over check.
A
So
subscriber.
they'll give me
yeah.
like $100 check in December that says, "Oh, you overpaid your insurance
Right.
policy for
No,
the
it's
year."
because you're a member. That's why.
No, it's because I overpaid
Oh, well,
my
shit.
coverage for premium for those 12 months.
Newer vehicles, $250 is great because you go get a new windshield. It gonna cost you at least $1,000.
My windshield
My old
$1,500.
Corolla, I hadn't had it 2 months, and thankfully I was with a great carrier where my comprehensive was $250. When I looked at the bill that came through, I was like, damn, they paid $1,000
For that
to replace my
windshield.
windshield.
And what you driving?
This
It was
is when
like
I
a
had a
little Corolla?
2021 Corolla, but now I have a Volkswagen Taos. It's 2023, but my comprehensive for that is $250.
I'm not fucking
Now
around.
my collision is $500 because I feel like I can come out
Anything can
five.
happen.
Like anything can happen.
I'm not doing
Even
doing
if I'm at fault, I can afford $500 to get my car fixed, and I know if it's $10,000 worth of damage, my insurance gonna pick up.
So you never did tell us how much do you make? How
Yeah.
much money you make?
So I've been on both
Or
sides.
other people make.
Independent and staff. Like I said, staff is more stability. So you're gonna get a base rate. You may get a salary job. You may get, I'll say, coming in, you can make $50,000 a year. That's just basic. That's just basic. Like no experience, like nothing. You just coming in. And those are some of the other questions that I get all the time. What's the pros and cons? Like, what's the good? What's the bad? The bad is the long hours. I'm not gonna lie. You really give up your life. You might give up your life for 6 months, but I promise you,
The
That
other
bad?
6 months.
work.
The other 6
I'm
months.
like, let me tell y'all. In January, I worked for a company maybe about 6 months. They did a big release, and it was only because the company had lost a lot of money. You know, putting their time into people that wasn't really working. Y'all, this gonna be real transparent, real honest. They called me. I was fresh out of surgery. I hadn't been out. I had just had lipo 360, y'all. Listen, this is dead ass for real.
I love it like with 360. I'm sorry.
Literally waking up out of anesthesia. The lady like, your phone keep ringing. She bring it to me. I had just got released 2 weeks prior. I was happy because I was gonna take a leave of absence that following week. My manager, me and him had already talked about it. He was like, I'll give you 2 weeks. You know, they released us because the workload hadn't dropped. It was like 40 adjusters. Of the ones that they kept that they thought were working, shit, it was a shit show. Like, I felt bad for the carriers. Like, people were going to the DOI, which is the Department of Insurance. They making claims. They like, I'm 30 minutes off the table. I got my anesthesia nurse. She put the phone in my ear. It was like, can you start tomorrow? Can you come back tomorrow? Yes, I can. Who? For $550 a day? You sure right?
But
I sure can.
But you know what the funny thing is? The funniest thing about this story is the fact that you were doing well enough to go get the surgery. Cause you got.
That's what it wasn't nothing. Like I done paid it up.
Oh,
I already knew. But because let me tell you,
'Cause that's not cheap.
My workload was taken care of, so I could take a week off and not worry about my insurance calling me. Cause I done took care of everybody.
That's the.
You can finesse the game so good with insurance. You do what you need to do. Your phone not gonna ring. My coworkers call me on Teams. My phone won't stop ringing. Girl, my phone ain't ringing at all.
Knock it out.
I'm over here cooking eggs, watching Bad as West. Like, I'm good over here. Like, but if you do
Because
it,
you love
I love what I do.
And you're
I love what I
passionate
do.
about what you
If you want to help
I
people, it
absolutely-
sounds like it's the industry that people
Right.
need to look into.
They
And
do. And if you're passionate about just customer service, I treat everybody as if it was my mama, my grandmama, my friends,
That's that
my
Virgo.
family.
That's that Virgo.
It
that's
is.
that Virgo
It's just
energy,
like,
right?
hey. And I used to go out my way because some of the contractors used to bully my insurers. We're not paying for it. She's not paying for it. Either you're going to adjust your scope to what I wrote for,
Or we'll
you
find
gonna
somebody
have-
else.
Take
Who you
it.
talking to?
Like who you like? No. And when once they know you know what you're doing, and
And
I
you're not
hate that
for
about
play,
our
yeah.
fresh adjusters, we get so worked up and take it personal. Don't take it personal, because everybody's in this field to make money. The contractors are trying to make their money. You trying to keep your job as well as take care of your insured. Don't let them bully you. Hey, this is what she can get. This is all we doing. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And guess what they do? All right, well, we'll go ahead and send you an estimate for your scope. I know you are. Because that's all you're going to get. This is something that I wish I would have did before going to get all these student loans. I ain't going to tell you no lie. I went to Alabama State, computer information systems. Like, I'm good at technology, this is and the other. But this is something that I wish I could have. You can make it. And there's so many different departments. Like, people think it's just called, like you said, litigation, total loss, daily claims, deployments, going out to hailstorms, natural disaster. It's so many different areas that you can find your place in.
So in closing, what are your last and final words to those that have been inquiring to you about adjusting or the life of an adjuster? What does it take? Like, what are your last and final words?
Do it. I'm not even gonna lie, do it. Invest in yourself. Like, if you're gonna take a leap out on faith on anything that you wanna do, you already know that you can take care of somebody. Do it, because it's still customer service at the end of the day. You're just literally getting somebody to the next step.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you came here with us today to
Thank
talk
you for
about
having
adjusting.
me.
And this is not our last episode, just the beginning. So we'll have more to come
Tell them to
soon.
ask us some questions. Put your questions in the comments.
Comments, like,
What you wanna
subscribe.
know?
We'll put Kayla's Instagram and contact information below. So if you have anything else for us, just let us know.
Yeah.
And
Because I'm more than happy to answer any questions, any concerns. Talk to me.
okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.